Hi guys, I am back. Okay, I survived college, thank God. I actually just graduated on Thursday, May 5th, and I am so excited about that. I got my associates in business management. I know some people may think that it's not that big of an accomplishment. I've been in school for 5 years, so that's like something I've been waiting for, and it's been pretty hilly up and down, all crazy. So, yeah, that's pretty much a great thing for me. I'm here right now though because of the fact that I actually finally graduated, and I asked a couple of my fellow students who are out of their freshman year of college or even um, like out of college in general what they would tell incoming students who just graduated high school, what they would give advice wise and tips and such like that for what to expect in college, what to do, all that sort of thing. So, really, what to expect. Seriously, college can be fun if you let it. It's one of those things where it can be hard. Um, I'm going to let you know now that if you are a straight A student in high school, that's not necessarily going to happen in college. Now, I don't want that to scare anybody because that's okay that it doesn't happen in college. It is okay not to get straight A's in college. You will soon come to understand that in college, C's get degrees. They do. Sometimes D's do as well, but aim high. Like, aim for that A and be all right if you get a C. That is okay if you get a C. Now, I graduated with a 2.6 GPA. I'm perfectly fine with that. It used to be higher, but to be honest, it just got to the point where I was like, you know what? I want to do my best. I want to get out of here and I want to do my best and get everything I need done. So I aimed as high as I could. And I um, ended up getting some C's. I only got like one or two D's out of the whole time that I've ever been in school. And in my degree, um, that's okay. Like, those were tough classes. They were tough for me. I am not very great at math, so it was usually those ones that I got the lower grade. But I had professors who believed in me, and that's what matters the most. Really, is the professors that really they believe in you. Okay, so um, they're great. And just when it comes to grades, aim high, but don't stress yourself out too much because I stress out and I get crazy during finals week. And it's something that really just gets on my nerves, which makes it worse. But definitely just, it's okay. Breathe. Always remember to breathe. Always remember to give yourself a break as well. Expect, like, don't expect it to be like high school because it is not like high school. It is totally different. The situations that you end up in are usually different from whenever you are in high school. Some high school students actually end up knowing what college is going to be like because they're sort of pushed in that direction. So honestly, it's okay. Like, it's okay at first if it's new, if you feel weird a little bit, like if it's intimidating, it is okay. It will get better, promise. Um, all right, next thing, equipment. This is a huge deal. It does actually matter most of the time what you have on hand. Um, get a planner. Make sure that you have a planner that's easily read, that is something that you can write enough in, um, something you like, something that you're going to keep because you are going to have it for a year or two. Um, definitely plan things, write them down, make sure you're writing down, like you have something to write down your homework in, when it's due, all that, because that matters. a laptop. With the laptop, you want to know exactly what your school uses. If they use Apple, if they use um, Microsoft, Windows, anything like that, you want to know what they use. What's their main server? What's everything that has to do with a computer? Because if you want to know if you need to transition from Windows to Apple or anything like that, you need to know and be prepared for that. It doesn't necessarily mean that you need to have a laptop that is specific to that, but that does help. Many times the schools actually have the laptops, not laptops, desktops you can use outside of class and class, all that. My school, I have I'm using my Lenovo right now. I have a Windows laptop. My school used Dell desktops, and those were also Windows, obviously. So we used all that. We did have some people in my classes who used Mac, and that can kind of get a little bit questionable because in my project management class, we ended up actually, um, we ended up having to use a Microsoft program, and the people who had Mac had a little bit harder of a time of using that program because it's not really built for Mac. Um, you can download some things that transfer over to Mac from Windows, but it can be tough, and that means that you kind of have to go into the school and work there. Um, some schools actually use Mac, which I've run into as well. Most use Windows, but because it depends on the major. That being said, make sure that you get something that is very, very like specific to your major. If you're a design student, you need something that's specific to that, something that's gonna be functionable with the programs that you're using and the things that you're doing. Business, same thing. Tech stuff, anything that has to do with that, you want to make sure that your laptop is good for it. Another thing is printer. You definitely, it is, if you're living in a dorm, even if you're living at home, you want something like a printer that you can use. Something that works well with your computer and that works amazing with what you need it for. Make sure that it holds enough ink. Mine, I love mine, but mine's an Epson, and mine does not work very well with like a large amount of papers. The ink level sinks pretty low real fast. Also, if it runs out of one ink, it kind of gets annoying because it won't use any of the others unless you replace that other ink. So I love my printer, but at the same time, it's not something that I would recommend for school. Um, that one also has a Wi-Fi, but some places do not, like some schools do not work very well with the Wi-Fi. Their Wi-Fi connection does not work with the printers very well at all. So make sure that you know about that. So that being said as well, make sure that you have the USB cord or anything that can plug into your computer so that you can use it. Also, books. You want to make sure that you check book pricings. Make sure that you know exactly what the book is that you need. Make sure that you actually need the book. I usually wait till I've gone through the initial intro class for my classes, so that way I know for sure if we need the book or not. Never been far too many times where I've spent the money on the book, which is usually like $200-$300, and then I end up going to class and finding out we're not using the book at all. We are just using the code that comes with it or whatever that it is. What's the point of getting the book then? So I usually wait till the first class to see about if we need it or not. Saves you a lot of money if not. Check out the books publisher. Sometimes the publishing sites give a lot cheaper of a price for their books than the bookstore on campus. Try not to use the bookstore on campus as best as possible. They can very much overcharge, and that drives everybody insanely mad, because as soon as you go to pay to sell them back, they don't give you enough money for it. So definitely make sure that you are checking prices everywhere. One good site to look at is Chegg. They have an amazing, the link will be below, by the way. They have an amazing customer service. Most of the time they have every book that you need. They're very good about trying to send you like the right book and get you everything like that you need as well. Most of the time, whenever you get books in, like sent to you, they'll come with samples too. Like I've gotten a Red Bull for sampling. I've gotten a Tide Pod for sampling. Like it's really legit and really cool. If you call them for like something that went wrong, they pick up the phone in a matter of seconds and they call you by name and they make sure that they correct it. And when they do correct it, half the time they send you more samples. It's funny how they work, and it's really amazing. Now, that also being said, like, again, just make sure that you're checking prices, because most places will overcharge you. I like ebooks after a while because most of the time my classes used programs, and so I use the programs more than the actual physical book, which the codes that come with those books anyway end up having the book with them. So I don't see a point in getting a physical copy of the book when the ebook is there too. So I just got the ebook anyway. I'm just flinging this pen around. All right, another thing is number 2 retractable pencils. Retractable pencils are 10 times easier when taking notes than sharpening pencils. Teachers sometimes go really fast in their notes. So you want something that's going to continue writing and be pump and go, because honestly, I've had so many times where it's just nonstop writing and literally you cannot risk stopping. You will miss something. So definitely those. And whenever you're doing anything with like the surveys or anything with like the fill-in things, you want number 2 pencils, because the machines that they go through don't read them at all unless they're number 2 pencils. Black pens. If you're going to write with a pen, make sure it is black. It is very hard to read your notes again when it's in a different colored ink. I've done it like because it's, I don't know, like colored coded, but when it came down to studying, it got really hard because I really couldn't read what they were color-wise. So make sure that it's really dark colors, like blue or black, but I prefer black because highlighters go over it really well. Speaking of highlighters, you can get a pack of those. Like I prefer the multi-packs that are colored. I actually really like to color code a lot, so I will get colored ones like these ones here. Let me grab them real fast. I have like a bunch of them. So like these ones are the Sharpie highlights. So like, yeah, they're amazing. I love them. They have the I'm going to find out what the one is that you can see better. I don't know if you can. Right by the black, if you can see the bubble. But anyway, they have a liquid in them, and you can tell when they're going to be running out of liquid. That helps me out so much, and I love them because they work really well. They're bright. When you're going through your notes, what helps me is reading my notes and then taking my highlighter, highlighting it as I read. And the bright color stands in my head, so that way I can like remember things. It helps to have the different colors because you can highlight the main thing you need to highlight, and then with one color, and then highlight the rest with another color. Like if you wrote down, like I did, like where you write down the category, and then whatever's in that category is a different color, and so on and so forth. That helps out a lot. Now the black pens, like the pens that I like to use, are the Pilot G207 ones. And the reason why I really like these is because you can get the refills. They are awesome with the refills. So I keep those on hand as well. And they're really good with writing and smooth. Like they're gel. It's amazing. So I like those ones. I do have those in colors as well, but yeah, black. Black is better. So moving on. Wrote stuff down, so sorry if there's paper noises. Alright, you want a box of notebooks. You save money. I actually just use the one subject college ruled ones. Actually was given these. My sister and I both got a box of them from my aunt. They help out a lot. I didn't use all of mine, but it helps because they have a different color of each notebook, which helps with color coding. That's something that you really want to do as well, is to color code, like purple for math and blue for English and so on and so forth. Like it helps out a lot because when you are in the classroom, the last thing that you want to do is look and be like, oh wait, like reading the top, like, okay, math, da 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 da. I like to color code because then that means, okay, so I'm in science class, so then here, I'll grab my purple one and stuff. That helps a ton because you really need to be prepared, and if you're not, then it's frustrating. So definitely get a box of notebooks because you will use more than one notebook. Some classes you will use 2 to 3 notebooks depending on how many notes that you need. I like to space things out so that way I can actually see better and read my notes better. So definitely do that. Now, a stapler as well. You need one. It's helpful to have so that way you can staple all your papers and be professional about it. Unless specified specifically by the professor not to, they expect you to. So pay attention to that and always do it. Some professors actually, well, most actually really, really hate when you give them unstapled papers. If you have more than one paper together for one thing, staple them together. Never have them separate. It's really tedious and annoying for the professors, and whatever helps them out is awesome. Always be on their good side. Never make them hate you. So literally just do the best you can at making their job a lot easier, because it'll make yours a lot easier. Calculator. Now, some classes require a different calculator. Like I have two. So I have a scientific calculator, and then I have this one. It's Texas Instruments. I have this one. This was for business finance. It's a little complicated because of all these weird buttons like present value and stuff like that. Well, I needed it. My other one wouldn't do it, so I needed that one definitely. So always make sure that you have the correct calculator, and it's okay to have more than one. Each one does something different that can be really beneficial to you, no matter like what class. Like seriously, just make sure you have the right one. Now, moving on to campus life. Okay. Now, most of this was from other people. I'm going to add a little bit of my own little tidbits in. But you're really not going to know most of my tidbits because I wrote them down with everybody else. Okay, but anyway. Now, don't be worried about the amount of friends that you get your freshman year. You're new, they're new, everything is new. Focus on getting used to everything. Focus on getting used to classes. Focus on getting used to just living on campus or commuting to campus. Just get used to things. Let's just focus on all that. Focusing on friends is going to get you in a little bit of a, like, get you stuck because you're not focused on the correct thing. So seriously, don't worry about making friends, like making a bunch of friends all at once during freshman year. Also, it is okay to make friends in classes. It was really hard for me to make friends on campus, even though I graduated from the same community college I went to before I went for a year at university. I made more friends my freshman and sophomore year of college in general than I had my last 2 years. And I kept very few. I'm very picky when it comes to people that I hang out with because I want to protect my heart. I want to protect myself from anything that I could get myself into trouble with. I'm really not into partying. I'm not into getting drunk or high or anything. So I'm very focused on making sure that my friends are the same, that they won't push me into a direction I don't want to go in. So really, I am very picky. If I don't get a good vibe from you, I'm probably not going to really spend that much time with you. So really, most of the time, I make my friends in my classes. It's been very few times where I've actually made friends outside of my classes. When it got to university, it was a little easier because I was in the equine program, so I was constantly around the same people all the time, more so than in a normal classroom. I actually ended up making only a couple of friends that I'm still friends with today. There's maybe like 3 or 4 that I still continuously talk to. So that makes it a little easier when you have a smaller group of friends. For me, it makes it a lot easier because I get to focus on them more than, like, I'm not very good in big groups. So it makes it easier that way. Now, my last 2 years, I didn't really make that many friends. So that's because most of the people are younger than me. I graduated a super senior. So it was a little weird. But it's okay. I still have one best friend. in the girl category and 1 in the guy category from when I first started school. And I really didn't start getting close to them until my 4th semester. No, it was my 2nd year. It was my sophomore year. I didn't start really getting close to them until then. But yeah, don't worry about how many friends you're gonna make. It's okay. You'll make more. Being homesick is normal. It's okay to be homesick. Just don't go home every weekend. Don't go home every day. If you're on campus living in a dorm, focus on getting used to the area. And actually, most of the time, the weekends are when you actually meet people, because there are people that are going to be there and there are people that are going to stay, and that's the best time to actually go meet people because you're both there and most of your friends are gone already. So go meet people, go get involved, do something that makes you more comfortable on campus, make it your home. Now also, if you're on the community college side where you're on that campus, but then you do go home, try to stay on campus as much as possible. Definitely try to hang out with some of the people that you got together with in your classes. That leads me to actually saying use the buddy system. Get somebody who you can study with that can keep you accountable on your homework. People from the same classes. Find somebody who will walk from class to class with you, especially if you don't know the campus. Like, it helps to have that. Just buddy up. Now, don't be afraid to explore Greek life. I did not, because I'm really just a little bit of a loner. Not really. I'm not into large groups, and I just didn't really feel comfortable with the idea of Greek life, so I just didn't get involved. Plus, I was far too busy whenever I was on the university side. I was far too busy. I really didn't have time. Like, I hardly had time to even get back to campus to catch dinner. Like, I had to go catch dinner myself, because I was in the equine program. So I was at the barn literally like from around lunchtime to after dinner, taking care of my horses. So don't be afraid to do that, because honestly, if you are sort of having trouble making friends, or if you want something to do, there's your way of getting involved. So if that's something that you're interested in, go try it. I will tell you to try things on campus. Like, try good things that'll help you out. Like, try things that will, like clubs, sports, anything that will get you involved with campus stuff. Like, so definitely try to get involved, even if it's theater. Who cares? Do it. All right, be careful what you do with your meal plan money. Don't trust anybody with it. Sometimes you only get so many passes for guests. Be mindful of that. Definitely be mindful of where you put your card, because that is most of the time you do get cards, so that's a very important thing to remember. You may get a few odd roommates before you get the one that's going to be your best friend for life. That's okay. You'll figure out who you work best with. I know on the application they ask you what you can live with, what you can't, They don't always pay attention to that. So many times the first roommate you get is not going to be your long time lasting roommate forever. Like, it'll be weird. And there's a time frame where you have to live with that before you need to change. So yeah, you'll figure that out. Now, you might not even get a roommate at first either. I did not get a roommate whenever I was at the university for freshman year. Like, I didn't get a roommate at all. I was supposed to have a roommate my first semester, didn't show up. I was supposed to have a roommate second semester, didn't show up. So yeah, it's weird. So you may not get one. Just keep that in mind. Now, learn to manage your time appropriately. Don't spend too much time having fun. If you have a test for one class on Thursday and it's Monday, focus on that class. Like how I did it was, if I had a test on Thursday for one class that same week, and then I had one like a couple days after, I would try to focus a little more on the Thursday class and then focus on the next Monday class for the tests, because then that kind of spaced it out a little bit. Just make sure that you always have time for fun, and that you always have time for studying, and that you always have time for sleep and food and stuff like that. Manage your time. If you need help with it, there are counselors around that can help you with that too. And that also brings in your accountability partner. That can help as well. Now, that being said, leave time for fun. Don't spend all your time studying. Like, time management and stuff like that goes in hand with this. Just know that it's okay to have one day at least for fun. Usually I kept that to the weekends. It's okay not to have a car freshman year either. I didn't have a car my first semester of my freshman year at university at all. It was hard because I was an equestrian major. So back and forth from the barn was really hard, but my second semester I had one, and that was 10 times easier because I got to be able to spend more time at the barn and get stuff done, and it helped me out a lot with that grade that I had for that. It helped me out a lot though too with whenever it came to friends and stuff, because we would kind of collaborate a little bit. Like, one would drive this place one time and another one would drive. Yeah, it's very helpful with that. Now, go to campus events, go to football games, go to any welcome, homecoming, whatever events that they're having. Do that, because that will help you a lot to get involved in campus too. So definitely get involved around campus. Now, always check your pockets before laundry. Never wash anything lethal ever. One of my friends walked into my room because he's pretty much an adopted brother. He came into my room and he let me know somebody on his campus washed bullets. There was a time for hunting season before that, so he went on a hunting trip, forgot that he left some bullets in his pocket, and accidentally washed them. It was caught before they went to the dryer, because somebody who was switching out the laundry, which that will happen by the way, found them. And yeah, everything could have gone boom if he would have had those accidentally go in the dryer. So always check your pockets. Do not wash or dry bullets. So if you've gone on a hunting trip, empty your pockets, or don't pack those pair of pants at all. Speaking of laundry, like I said, people will shift your laundry over. So please, if you don't want your laundry touched, make sure that you have everything set on a timer. If you know that the washer will end in 10 minutes, set a timer and go downstairs before the 10-minute mark is up. So that way you can grab them and move them into the dryers, and then make sure that you pay attention to that too, because people will shift your stuff over and dump them on the floor or set them somewhere in a place, and you will lose things. And that's never fun. So always pay attention to that. Pay attention to the days that people don't wash their stuff either. There will be times, like a day, where everything will be free and open and it'll be awesome. So pay attention to that too. Never be afraid to ask for help, especially with your professors. Don't be afraid to go to them for any help. Take advantage of their office hours. They are there to help you. They actually do care. So if you're feeling like you're not doing so well in their class, go talk to them. Ask them what the next step would be. Ask them for help. Ask them, like, hey, I don't understand this. Can you help me with it? That sort of thing. There are tutors on campus as well, so please go to the tutors. Get help with that. I didn't with some of the things because I'm very shy and like just didn't do it. I do feel more comfortable going to my professors because I know who they are. But most of the time, just go to the tutors or your professors and just take advantage of the time there. It will help you out amazingly. If you have a friend that's really good at something like math or English or whatever, you can go to them too if you're more comfortable with that. But if that's not helping you at all, do go to the professor and then go to tutoring or whatever you feel most comfortable with. Just don't be afraid to ask for help, ever. And that's pretty much it for that. But really, college is fun, guys. Like, college is fun. You can have fun. You can be responsible. You can do whatever. Sometimes you need a job. Like, if you have time and you want extra money, go for the job. Look at work study. Check it out. See if it works for you. See if it fits with you. With work study, they're not allowed to bust into your schedule, so they have to go around your exact school schedule. So you'll never work or be scheduled during your classes. Don't be afraid to just try things. Don't be afraid to explore the town. Don't be afraid to try things, like to try clubs or anything. Like I said, definitely take advantage of job fairs. Definitely take advantage of anything that you can that the campus provides. Get your resume set up. Make sure that things are set up in your resume, that you can actually get things done and move on and go from there. Check out the career services type of things too. The school will actually help you out with that as well. So check that out, do all that. Remember, don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to make any friends. Don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. If you're living on a campus, you're going to be living there for maybe 4 years. So make sure that you're taking advantage of everything that's available there. But yeah, like definitely just have fun. Enjoy it. It's not going to last forever. Most of the time you will make more friends that you'll keep forever on your college campus than you will ever have in high school or middle school or anything. Really, it's actually a really great experience. And to be honest, many of my professors I didn't get close to, but there are some that I really did get close to. I ended up getting really close to two of the security guards. Actually, one's retired, the other one's still there. Got really close to them, got really close to one of the maintenance guys. They're very supportive. They're like family to me. They kept me sane. I had an accounting professor who was amazing. He actually ended up giving me his card just in case I needed anything from him, like a reference or anything like that. He's amazing with that. He's great. He was there all the time for help. He was a great teacher. He was a great person to go to for anything. I actually did amazingly well in his class. Even though it was accounting and I'm not good with math at all, I did really well in his class because he gave me the time that I needed and I asked for help. So that's proof. Don't be afraid to ask for help. And my business, finance, macroeconomics professor was awesome. And then my leadership professor was amazing. She's amazing. Just love her. And then my English teacher from my creative writing teacher, same person. He was pretty awesome too. And even though I hadn't taken his classes in years, he remembered who I was. So those are the professors that make it worth it. Those are the professors that make everything worth it. Don't be afraid to ask for help anyway. Like if they're not willing to give you the help, then go get tutoring. If they're not willing to be like professors and sort of friends or anything like that, then yeah, definitely like go somewhere else. But don't be afraid to ask anyone for help. Please don't. Don't be afraid to go to anybody, either like the counselors or anything like that. If you feel really lonely and you don't know what to do, they're there for you. So definitely just have fun and you will enjoy it. You will love it and you will miss it. I'm really sort of only missing some of my professors, but I live like 30 minutes, not even 30 minutes away from my campus, so I'm able to go visit. But yeah, so that's this video, and actually next video, I'm actually going to be trying to do a relationship one. There will probably be many to come, but this one's definitely more about what you're looking for, what to do with what you want and what you're looking for in a guy or a girl that you want to date or anything like that. So, yep, be on the lookout for that. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I can't wait to do another one and to get your feedback and everything. So, remember to send me any of your questions or anything, like any video ideas, to the link below, which is the email to send them to, and let me know what you want me to answer, what you want me to focus on, anything like that, okay? So, thank you for watching Dear Hurricane, and I will definitely get back to you all later. All right? Have a good summer.